What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As promised, we are going to rank my Super 7 figures that I have collected so far. How many do I have? It's not a huge number. We're looking at... I've only got 7. And to be honest, the majority of them were all collected in the past month. The only one that's a little bit older is my Cobra Commander, and that's been a couple months ago, or maybe back in, I would say, September, maybe October, early October is when I got that one. So I've really just now started really getting into the Super 7s. And this is going to be some repeat stuff right here, but I've said on the channel in the past, I had the opportunity to mess with some of these Super 7 Ultimates Ninja Turtles figures right after they first started doing those. And they are awesome, but for the price point, I wasn't that impressed. With that being said, I'm definitely got a few characters. There's no way I'm going to try to collect all the Ninja Turtle ones. I think they may be on like wave 7 or 8 at this point, or at least that might be up for pre-order. And it's interesting the way they've done it. They've of course done the 4 turtles, and then they've done the variants of the 4 turtles where they're in. They had some type of theme. They're all redos of original figures, and they're in a larger scale with some more articulation and a lot of accessories. I know the Ninja Turtles that I saw had a lot of accessories, had all the weapons that the figures originally came with in the brown color that they would have originally had back in the 80s, plus updated versions of those weapons. So for that fact, they were very cool. But in dealing with those, was like, at that price point, at $50 to $55 a piece, there's no way I'm collecting not even all 4 turtles. I mean, for that, you'd be in it over $200. And they're nice. But from the experience over the past couple weeks that I've had with the Super 7 figures, they look wonderful. And as I showed in one of the videos, it may have been on the other channel, on the bottom of the box, when you look at the packaging, I don't have one closer, I'd show you, under all the information that you have, the manufacturer information, all that stuff, there is a disclaimer that says, this is not a toy, is for adult collectors only. With that, I know a lot of us really, when we start looking at our figures, are like, okay, we want tons of articulation. When it comes to the wrestling figures that I do on the other channel, like, articulation is a big thing. The one thing you lose when you start going to 24, 30 points of articulation, all those articulation points have to have a joint, and you lose some of the look of the figure. So with the Super 7 figures, they are not made to go into multiple different poses. That's not to say you can't pose them. They're very posable. However, I do have 2 Super 7 Ultimates wrestling figures with me today. Those, compared to a WWE Elite figure, it's a night and day difference on the articulation. But the articulation on an Elite figure is meant to actually maneuver it into performing wrestling moves. You can accompany those with some of the rings that you get to play with those. Those are made to be played with. The Super 7s are not. They're made to pose. Most of them can strike a pose that you would see in whatever they came from, cartoon, movie, what have you. But they're not going to be super posable. But they look fantastic. And with that being said, taking a look at my collection, I'm going to show you my least favorite of the 7 first. So, coming in at number 7, it's going to be Super 7 Ultimates Transformers Bludgeon. Now, you look at this and you go, that thing looks amazing. And it does. It really does look awesome. Biggest issue with this guy is he's got very loose joints in the hip region, which causes you could get into pose, but if I bump around too much, he will probably fall over. The knees are fine. It's just in those hips, because that's a lot of wiggle, and I'm not applying pressure. I mean, this arm has a lot of wiggle in it too. Look at that. That won't hold itself. And that's, now, I didn't pay. I got this one at Ross, so I'm in at a $20 price point. But at a $50 price point, which was the original price on this, this would have me irate. But it looks awesome. Here's a look at the back. His other sword is over there on the shelf. I just didn't bother putting it back on him. Now, and that's my least favorite. I love these guys. Which one would come in at number 6? So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with my other Transformer. And we're going to go with Grimlock. It's an awesome looking figure. It's great. Its articulation is very limited because of the style of figure it is, which is it's okay. However, you have to keep him posed like that. If you try to pose him in too many other ways, he's too top heavy. So you're pretty much stuck with keeping him on the shelf in that pose right there. And then for his crown to stay, his crown just sits. It just sits on there. There's no molding to it. So just the slightest bumps, as you saw, make it fall off. So for those reasons, he comes in at number 6. And we're going to pray that Bludgeon doesn't fall over and wreck Alf. And I'm going to slide these two over a little bit. So number 7, Bludgeon. Number 6, Grimlock. Number 5. And I hate to do this because I love my horror stuff, but I'm going to go with Nosferatu. So why do I place it lower than my other 4? It's just simplistic. It's just... When did you fall into and get dust on you? What the hell? Ain't even been on the shelf but a week. Anyways, it's just because he's very simplistic. As far as accessories go, it's not over the top. It is a wonderful figure. But I rank it at number 5 in my collection. And this is going by, I'll say my ranking is which one should you actively hunt down. So, I would say definitely get yourself a Nosferatu figure if you're into horror. You're not going to go wrong by getting this one if you can catch it still on sale. I haven't messed with the NECA Nosferatu figure yet. But with the new movie coming out and everything, we may see an updated version of the NECA figure. There's no telling what we could see. Would you stop playing with the crown, Josh? All right. Next up, This is tough. I'm enjoying it though. So next up is going to be my first of the wrestling figures I have. It is going to be the Super 7 Ultimates Brian Myers. That is going to come in at number 4. I have no complaints about the figure. It feels great in hand. He has his own action figure. Um, like I said, as far as articulation goes, it's not near as much as an Elite, so you're not going to get those poses. But I got him kind of in his Major Wrestling Figure podcast pose, kind of. I've got his microphone, I've got him in the hat, and I've got the dog tags on him, and he's got his figure. Very cool. I would definitely be happy getting one of these. So for me, this one I paid the least for out of all of my Super 7s because this was a gift. Over on Gladiator Wrestling Podcast, we have had a guest on a few episodes this year. Hopefully he'll be returning to the show very soon. He is over from TikTok. His name is Lucha OKC over there. And he actually gifted this to me. So it was really awesome. We sent him some stuff. He did some trades with the Chase Collector, which is the other half of Gladiator Wrestling Podcast. And anyways, we shipped it, and we all got our packages and opened them together on one of the podcasts. So I urge you to head over to the Gladiator Wrestling Podcast after this video, show it some love, and check out that video where we all got to open packages from each other. And it was one of the podcast episodes, the second one of the year, I think it was, something like that. Anyways, but even if I'd have paid for this, I've always wanted this one and his partner. Very good. Would not be disappointed in paying for it. I'm so sorry. Now, next up, this was, yeah, I think I'm going to have to, I'm going to go with the other half of Major Wrestling Figure Podcast and my Matt Cardona. So these are the original two figures that they had of these two that Super 7 Ultimates did. This is Series 1 of their Ultimates line. They've got some new ones coming out. Or he does, at least. I don't know about any new Brian Myers. Matt Cardona's got some different outfits coming out that look really cool. So where this was the cheapest one I ever bought, this is the most expensive Super 7 figure I've ever paid for. So, and I only got this because once I got this one, it was going to drive me absolutely crazy to have Brian Myers and not have Matt Cardona, which is why he was okay. Lucha OKC was happy to send it to me because he purchased it and then he really wanted this one and was not able to tell from the packaging which one was which. So it was just collecting dust on his shelf. In all, I've probably got still less than what these retailed at into the two of them because this one was free. But that one will come in at number 3. Again, same kind of stuff. He's got the dog tags. His hat is turned around forwards. He's got his own action figure. We got the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast microphones. Wonderful figures. They look great. They feel great in hand. These are some of the best feeling Super 7 Ultimates I've had. I'm not yawning because I'm tired. My asthma that I've got causes me to yawn a lot because my body's trying to take in a deep breath. So I apologize. Bludgeon number 7, Grimlock number 6, Nosferatu number 5, number 4 is Brian Myers, and number 3 is Matt Cardona. Just to get caught up, my number 2 and this is the second cheapest one I ever got, is my Super 7 Ultimates Cobra Commander that doesn't want to stand up. This one is really coming straight out of the cartoons. He came with tons of accessories that you would see in the cartoon. Probably the biggest complaint I would have on this figure is this cape. As awesome as it looks, it just sits on there. So there's nothing holding it in place other than it's got wire in it, so you can actually shape the cape. And that wire runs up into this, and you just kind of pinch it around his neck. I caught it on clearance at Walmart for $12. Believe that? So the cheapest one I ever purchased. But it's an amazing figure. It looks awesome. Compared to the Classified Series one, I've got, I think you can see it behind me, I've got the Once a Man Cobra Commander. I didn't know I wanted it that bad, but I would like to get my hands on the retro carded Classified Cobra Commander and do a comparison. It's got some really cool stuff with it. But if you're looking to get into the Super 7 Ultimates, not a bad way to do it. He was the first one I got. This is the first Super 7 Ultimates figure I've ever had. And I can't stop playing with that crown. It is a wonderful figure. It's worth the money. I mean, obviously it was worth my $12, but would I felt like it was worth it if I'd have bought it? You know what? The video I did on this one, I did have the extra heads it comes with will not go on it. I would have to use some boiling water or some heat because they will not snap into place. I've replaced heads on these. I've replaced heads on this one. Don't remember if I did it on this one, but they do fit. Super 7 Ultimates, the heads do fit very tight. But this one, there was no way I could get those heads to swap. So it was very. I mean, you could visibly tell the hole in the head was smaller than the hole in this head, like visibly. It was. I remember that. So for a $50 price point, I would have been upset to get that. However, I'm not saying every one of the Cobra Commanders has that issue. I may have got a bad mold in the head. I don't know. So, but it looks fantastic. I actually keep it over on the shelf where my Transformers are with Starscream. Oddly enough, it looks cool over there. But still a fantastic figure. If you can find it on clearance at Walmart, I would definitely recommend picking it up. But if you're going to try to change out the heads, and the big difference is I think the white stripe stuff on there. So if you're going to try to do that, I would love to hear anybody else's experience with that if you've had this figure or if you get it, come back to the video and reply. So, one more recap. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. If you watch the videos, you'll know my number one is this Super 7 Ultimates Bruce Lee, the Warrior. This figure is absolutely fantastic. I could not find a thing wrong with it. This is one of my favorite figures in my entire collection at this point. He says, as it doesn't stand up for him. Been over standing up on the shelf for 2 weeks. Now he don't want to stand up. Thank you. But that is from the Super 7 Ultimates that I have. That is my number one. If you're going to pick one figure from this video and go out and buy it, get the Bruce Lee figure. There's 3 other Bruce Lee figures now in the Super 7 Ultimates, but this one, just looking at them, was my favorite. Uh, you know, pick your favorite Bruce Lee style, but definitely get one of their Bruce Lee figures because these things are awesome. I might have to get him. Ankles are kind of tight, but there we go. But that would be my number one out of all these that I have. This is the number one must have. If you're a Bruce Lee fan, uh, definitely check this out. I know there's another company, I don't remember which one it is, that's done some Bruce Lee figures. And I'm definitely interested in that to do a comparison. But um, this is all of the Super 7 Ultimates figures that I have so far. And I will say, I will have my eye on a few others. I'll be definitely looking at the stuff that's on sale when it goes on sale. Um, and I think in the past I've probably bashed Super 7 a little bit. Uh, Not a lot. My biggest issue, and most people, if you look online in the action figure groups and everything, their biggest complaint is the price point. So, would I have all of these at their $55 to $50 price point that they originally hit at? No, absolutely not. Um, in my time of collecting, there's only been a couple of times that I have spent over $50 on a figure. Obviously, I've got some Titan class Transformers. Those were going to cost more than that. I have 18-inch horror NECA figures. 3 of the 4 of those I only spent $50 on. One of them, because I bought it years later, cost me a lot more. But generally, I am a buyer in the $20 to $30 price range. I can go to 35 on NECA stuff, but I that's about where I stay in my comfort range. I have bought. Where are they at? I've got a couple of Mezco 112 collective figures. I've got Wolverine and Batman. Uh, those obviously were a lot more, somewhere around $90 a piece. But for that price point, you're getting actual fitted cloth goods, suits, and stuff. The details on those are fantastic, and the articulation blows these out of the water. So I would love to be able to collect more of those. And I'll be honest, if the store that was selling those was still here in my hometown, I probably would have more. But I have not gotten any more of those since shortly after we moved into our house. But I may grab those one day coming up soon, and we take a look at my couple of Mezco 112 collectives. But for today, that is my Super 7 Ultimates collection, ranked from my absolute favorite to my least favorite. But none of them are bad figures, so don't take this as this one's awful. And again, with this one on his loose legs, you may have better luck than me. This could be a fluke. They may not all be like that. I don't know. If you've had this, let me know if you've got loose joint issues. Loose joint problems are not fun. That's some of the most aggravating stuff to have when you're collecting figures, because you end up with loose joints. You end up with a figure that won't stand up or won't hold his arms up and stuff. It's bad. But I just wanted to do this, have a little bit of fun, show off the Super Sevens, just kind of have some fun with them. I really intended on this to come out right after I finished doing all these videos, but things happen, and that didn't work out that way. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below how you think these were ranked. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. If you hadn't already, please smash that like button for me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of the other great stuff we got coming to the channel. I've got tons more unboxings to do. The What If episodes will be coming back. A lot of great fun coming on the channel. Hopefully, we'll be doing some more hunts soon. So those are always fun. Stay tuned for all that. And if you're into wrestling and wrestling figures, check out my other channel, Gladiator Wrestling Podcast. There is full unboxing and reviews for these two figures over there, plus hundreds of other videos and wrestling figure videos. And every Sunday live at 7 p.m. Central, Gladiator Wrestling Podcast, right here on YouTube. Come check it out. And that's going to do it for this one. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Gladiator out.